One of the greatest gifts that we can give ourselves as athletes and as humans is the ability to generate our own resistance to movement. It doesn't work so well with certain muscles. It's actually really hard to do, or at least to create enough resistance to get change. However, with a lot of the muscles of the body, we actually can create enough internal resistance, enough self-appointed resistance in order to see some value. I want you to remember that there are two sides of, there's two sides of the body. There's the front, there's the back. We could also talk about this as the muscles that pull us into the body and muscles that pull us outwards, right? So there are muscles that are pulling my hand inwards and other muscles that are pulling my hands outwards. We can label these muscle groups as antagonists and as prime movers for any given movement. So a really easy example, if you want to flex your bicep, right, you pull your hand to your shoulder, that is your bicep as the prime mover and your tricep is the antagonist. When the prime mover shortens, the antagonist has to lengthen. Mechanics, simple stuff. But it's important to remember that if you really want to show someone how big your bicep is and you don't want to have to move your arm, the way that you do that, and you don't want to use anything outside of you, the way that you do that is actually by creating resistance between the top and the bottom of the arm, right? The bicep and the tricep are fighting against each other, and your bicep can never look more impressive than the strength of your tricep has to fight against it. It's just the way that goes. If one of those muscles are really out of balance, then one's going to look weak. And functionally, it probably will be kind of weak because the flip side isn't working terribly well. So that is our basic idea of prime movers and antagonists. The next exercise we're going to look at is our pec fly with self-created resistance. So the pec, again, big muscle, the chest connects in, it pulls the elbow in. It creates this internal torque on the shoulder socket. Fighting against that are the rear delt on the back of the shoulder blade, and then the mid traps through the middle, and the lats underneath the shoulder. So our movement is really, really simple, but I'll tell you that if you don't take this seriously, you're not going to get anything out of it. So here's all we're going to do. We're going to come out, we're going to bring the arms up to cactus, and I want you to pretend like someone has big rubber bands around your elbows and they're standing behind you. And as you pull your hands forward, you are fighting against those rubber bands. And as you get further in, those rubber bands tighten up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to let those rubber bands start to win, but you're still fighting. So the pec is still doing work against that resistance. Let's do one more here. Come in. We get in here. Let's actually pause. I want you to pretend there's a balloon between your elbows and you're going to try to pop it. And then keep that resistance. That balloon is getting bigger. You're almost trying to fight against it as it comes out. And relax. If we do these right, we should end up getting really hot across the front of the chest, maybe a little bit in the front of the shoulder. If you start to feel it on the inside of your arm, inside of the bicep, awesome. And then your mid-back and right around the shoulder blade should be getting warm too. If it's not, slow down and make it harder on yourself. That's what self-imposed resistance means. It is only as valuable as you decide to make it for yourself. That is our pec fly with self-imposed resistance. Enjoy.